Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. It's me, DIGI. Welcome to your Friday, December 27th, 2024. And hello, Kev. Good to see ya. We are back in 2024 for a little stint in DevOps before I likely jump back into 2020 for some continued dev. It's been a while since I did dev on stream, been a few days actually. We did it at the top of the week. And then, Christmas Eve, Christmas came, Boxing Day came, and it was just really, really, really fast. It's amazing how holiday breaks just kind of take the reins and just make time blaze. We're back, and let's see what we can do about potentially getting some help for the scenery dev situation at Higginsville. Because the last time we did any work there, we couldn't get the taxiways to show up. So I'm going to try to download the SDK right now. There's a small chance I'm going to have to restart the sim, but at least restarting 2024 is a lot less of a task than 2020. But good to see you. And welcome. Folks, if you do not know who my friend Kev Mikwa is, who I like to call Kev, Kev is a great friend of the channel and somebody that is a flight sim streamer himself. Kev does cargo flights in X-Plane, and great person to hang around with and shoot the breeze with in his chat on his streams. He is a friend of the channel and somebody that I enjoy spending time with. So if you do not know my friend Kev Mikwa, I would highly recommend you go spend some time getting to know him and his channel and to check out his content as well. Welcome everybody. You're not seeing me do stuff right now because I am trying to get set ASAP. I got an update for the SDK, and I'm probably going to restart the sim just to make sure that the SDK features are there. I'm hoping that I can actually get the stuff to update, and then just kick the sim over and restart it. So what I might need to do is temporarily stop for now, just to see if it goes faster. I don't know. Oh, no, it's there. All right, let's see. Accept the terms. I have my Visual Studio plugin. And now we're going to go ahead and get it going. Again, this might actually install while I'm on it, but I'm going to cycle the sim again just to make sure the features are there. Actually, let's see. While we're doing that, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and quit now while it's actually removing stuff and getting ready to install. It shouldn't be very long at all. So let me click over Be Right Back screen and just let it install. I am installing an update to the SDK for FS2024, and it looks like it finished. That's good. Let's go ahead and go back to live view and kick over the sim once again. Kind of reminds me of all those times when I was doing scenery dev at Lafayette in Louisiana, and I wanted the updated Bing imagery, but I would forget to do it. So what was it, like 3 streams in a row? I started the stream, I loaded in, I realized I didn't actually have it on. I had to cut out of FS2020, go back to the map mod, turn that on, and then turn the sim back on. It's okay, you can laugh. Ooh, interesting. An overlay. Well, of course. Duh. But, welcome. Welcome to my lurkers. Welcome to everybody watching on the replay. And hello, Kev, once again. If it is the one amazing thing that I like about 2024, it's that it does not take long to load in, and it does not take long to go from the menu to the actual airplane on the ground. Say whatever you want to say about the sim. The load-in time on an NVMe drive with a good or at least reasonable bandwidth is pretty sweet. I do wonder about that sometimes, Kev. I don't know if it's a bandwidth issue. I'm not sure if it's FS2024 verifying its install files every time. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with rolling cache or the lack thereof, or if it's that every single time some of us go, some of us are like a part of, whatever updates going on. Because I think they've been delivering micro updates left and right, but I don't remember exactly what's up. Let's go to free flight and let's see what we can see at Higginsville. I'll put the Whirlybird down at Kilo Hotel India Golf, and we will zoom in and see the default spots. And this is the default scenery that's loading in. That's fine, don't care. I don't have it in my community folder anyway, so that's fine. Before I do that, I'm going to make sure the variant is cool, just in case I decide to go fly it. Sitting and watching this hype video a lot. Do you mean like their initial release or something like that? I apologize. I'm not sure why my brain isn't braining sometimes. And this is good. Let's go ahead and keep this one because I kind of like it. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Right. I mean, I remember loading into like X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 12. X-Plane 12 improved the load process, unless of course I didn't install nearly as much scenery in 12 as I did in 11. But I get you. I understand now. I remember at one point I had X-Plane running off of a portable drive. I don't know why I did that, but I I had it installed on a portable drive, which was kind of funny in the sense that I could do that, but to this day I do not remember what the rationale was for that, why I chose to do that. But whatever. Let me take some of the stuff off, even though I'm not flying right now. I'm just going to go ahead and keep that in case I decide to do something. Although, pretty much the answer is going to be no, we just go back to the main menu and then go back into the sim. All right. So I'm going to get into the cockpit and we're going to go into load Higginsville, which we can't because I think it flushed the cache. So be it. Let's go ahead and load the XML file. Error accessing live air traffic data, retrying, doesn't matter. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to load into the scenery and we'll see what we see. Oh, that's good. I'm happy that I'm no longer going to night mode. Not that I have a thing against flying at night. It was just that I kind of liked how it used to always load into daytime whenever I started. Okay. Chat, just want to set the stage. There is the possibility that I might have to cut out of the stream kind of at the drop of a dime. I am pondering the possibility of an incoming call from a friend of mine. If it happens, then I will take the call and probably either dismiss the class or go and just put myself on a be right back screen or whatever. Details aside, there's some stuff going on, but Yahweh permitting, we're gonna go ahead and deal with it as best we can. So, just a heads up in case anybody wonders where I went. I would, of course, put a message in chat and, you know, tidy things up real quick. But so far, situation is what it is. So, one step at a time. Okay, the one reason I am in here is because I wanted to see whether or not we could get taxiways to show up. I have no idea why they don't. I'm not sure if the taxiway sign is supposed to be attached to a hold short point or something. I don't know. The properties for the taxiway sign doesn't it doesn't look this doesn't look invalid. So I don't know why this isn't loading. Thank you, Kev. Appreciate it. I'm really, really not sure. Like, if it was incorrect, if it was borked, then yeah, of course, I would understand this thing not showing up the way it was supposed to. But I don't get it. I literally don't get it. I'm not sure why this isn't loading. And if I loaded into another airport, I kind of have to wonder if the taxiways that I would render for it would show up there. But we're going to try a really quick experiment. I'm going to select parent, copy properties. Okay, so there's no connection between the hold short point and the taxiway sign. Let's see, taxiway main runway. Let's see, size 3. Is it a question of size? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything render. Is it a question of justification? It kind of sort of shouldn't be, and the raw label looks correct. So I'm not sure why. This is unfortunately going to be a pretty significant problem for me going forward if I'm going to have to start creating my own taxiway signs. On the bright side, if I have to create my own taxiway signs, then so be it. I'll I'll have to wind up dedicating time to rendering them, and that'll be the subject of some future, I don't know, available content for the sim. But any taxiway signs I create would basically be very simple and replacements, and then I could probably expound on them. But I don't see any problems with the taxiway sign. And it's not hidden, so it should appear, right? I don't understand. So we're going to hit the build all button just in case there's anything that has to happen after the SDK update happens in order for the taxiway sign to show up. No errors, 0 errors, so nothing. No, not a drop. I don't understand. I can't quite grasp why the taxiway sign isn't loading. Let me do a quick search online and see if I can figure out why. If we can't work on the taxiway signs, I might work on a few extra things for this scenery and either try to make the upload happen this weekend or next week. Just a slight update to it. But let me go on my browser real fast. I will be doing that in the background. And let's see. MSFS 2024 SDK. Taxiways signs don't load. All right. Stand by. Yeah, so How to create taxiway signs and add runway numbers. Is this new? No. Okay, I'm looking. Oh, this is an old video. Woo-wee. Two years ago, so that's 2020. Okay, MSFS 2024, and let's see, sign. Okay, doesn't have that. Taxiways. I'm looking at the SDK, the documentation. So, right, of course. One of the issues I was dealing with was decoding the SDK documentation that's available here, and I'll put that in chat as well if you're curious. I'm not sure what's going on. I won't spend too much time looking into it, but it says that taxiway signs require one or more airport objects to be present. And I think what they're talking about when they mean airport project is the actual airport in question. So this is the airport. This is the airport object. So let me take a look at the properties for it. Technically, if I delete all taxiways, I should get rid of taxiway paintings. I did not delete all taxiway signs, so technically I should be seeing default taxiway signs in the scenery, and I see nothing. Apron control, WASM module, I'm still not at that point yet. Generic airport M is used. Legacy airport? What in the world does that mean? Oh, look at that. All right, so we have extra small, small, medium. I think this applies to text strings and approaches. Extra large, 2XL. I'm not sure. Default archetype is used. And this is Legacy Airport. And I'm wondering if the airport archetype has anything to do with this. All right, let me do this. M1634, M1634. Nope, nope, that's not it. I am officially confused. Like, I am proper confused about this. Let's change this back to none so I can have the extra stuff for the airport. No, I legit don't have a clue what's going on. I literally think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to start creating my own taxiway signs, which is a bit of a bummer, but I mean, it is what it is. Let me try doing one more search and see if I can find out what's going on. Let's see. FS2024 SDK can't add taxi signs. It is almost weird that it's not letting me add a taxiway sign at all. Okay, so I'm taking a look at the forums for FS 2024, and I'm trying to see if I can find anything with regards to, I guess, SDK review. I really don't I really don't want to have to do development in FS 2020 and then port it over to FS 2024. But right now, there's a somewhat strong chance I might have to wind up doing it that way just so I can get the taxiway signs to show up. I don't know. I don't know. Let me take a look one more time. Is there anything that I'm missing? I'd like to think that there is something that I can do. Like, please, please tell me, and I legit mean, please tell me that there is something very simple and extremely basic that I missed, that I am just not cognizant of. Why would the taxiway signs not show up? Scale world, local, snap. Let's do translate. Okay, well, I can't actually move this up and down. Come on, did you think? Let me check something. I am a member of one of the kind of like flight sim dev groups on Discord. Checking. All right, hold on. Let's go to 2024 SDK since that's probably where I would have put it. I shouldn't have to go too far back. It wasn't like it was like 6 months ago or something. Yep, levels of detail. And mid-December, it would definitely be before then, like way before then. I know you folks are looking at the same exact screen, so my apologies. Actually, there was a lot of chat that was here in this month. Wow. Um, where are we? All right, early December. Okay, so no. This is a flat out no. I found my post on the Discord where I asked about taxiway signage, and no response. I mean, there's a lot of folks asking a lot of questions, so the fact that my question kind of disappeared into the ether is not a major problem. Like I'm a big boy, I can handle it. I think the easiest way to deal with this is simply by creating my own taxiway signs, so I'm not going to worry about it. What I can most likely do is add some additional details, stuff like that. I'm probably going to add a little bit more in the realm of aprons, because if we can do that, we can kind of add some extra details. And FS2024 has some beautiful, beautiful texturing options that are available. Let me switch to a top-down camera, and we'll start working on the apron textures now. I'm not going to go bananas. I'm just going to add a few parts of like gravel or areas where basically things are going to show up. So I'm going to do my best to approximate where this road's going to go through, but I'm also not going to stress it too much. I kind of figured out a method to make adding extra aprons like this more enjoyable, and I can't undo what I've done so far because FS2024 does not have a undo button, unfortunately. But I'm also not going to stress it. I am adding some extra gravel to the side of the ramp because the satellite imagery is cool, but at the same time, I want it to have a little bit of extra depth. And doing it this way will basically give me a little bit extra detail and will make this a bit more fun to look at. Also, the more you work in the SDK, the more comfortable you get. And I feel like taking baby steps outside your comfort zone is going to give you a better chance at, I don't know, picking up new tools or techniques or whatever. So let me go and that's pretty good. I don't know if this is like a gravel path to what I believe is the machinery that actually pulls this gate open, but that might be something I do in the payware version of HIG, because I do want to make a payware version. I just don't have a timeline for it right now. So we will see what happens. All right. That's the apron. Let me go ahead and move this to aprons first. And inside of aprons, we have the opportunity to rename it. And I'm going to say, let's see, dirt or gravel path alongside tarmac. And we're going to change the surface from taxi concrete to ground texture, and we'll see what textures we can find. It's probably not going to be a fjord or a fjord cliff. Forest? Probably not. Let's do we have ground soil? Do ground 1. And it's not going to load. Okay, that's ground 1. Ground soil. It's not quite what I want. I want it to be gravel. So I might have to go, wait, how about rock? Sand, sandstone, gravel. There's gravel. Okay, so we did gravel before. I think we did gravel for the runoff right here. Or was that gravel? I don't know. That was concrete gravel. Got it. Oy, too close to the ground. Sorry. Let's try this again. Okay. First off, let's remove ground merging. And let's also do a fall off of probably about 0.8 meters. No, that seems a bit too much. Let's do 0.7, and then let's adjust this ground cover to be a higher priority. And let me zoom out a bit. Does that mess with anybody? No, not really. I don't think so. That's simple enough. Let me save the scenery while I'm at it so I don't lose my changes. And this could probably be much, much, much smaller. I said gravel, but let's try gravel ground. Okay, gravel ground looks way rockier, but again, my texture tiling is very high. And it's still quite rocky at 8. Let's do 4. That actually might work, but I'm probably going to have to color this up. All right, let's pick a different color. I'm going to have to handle this gently. Not orange or yellow, but that actually might work. Maybe a touch fainter and darker here. And let's go ahead and remove the surface. That's actually not bad. Only problem is it really looks like it's kind of worse. So let me go to developer camera and take a look at it. Actually, it's not that bad. Let me adjust the tiling. 1 makes it look incredibly tiled. Okay. 5 actually isn't that bad. Gives it a lot of definition. And I feel like it adds something to it. Now, I'm not sure what these are. I'm not sure if these are actually hay bales or if there's something else. I can't tell. So I just might add some hay bales there just for the effect and then leave it that way. I tried it once before, but I couldn't figure out, it didn't quite sit well with me. So what I might do is I might make a generic kind of like a dirt or just like a small branch thing cover to cover the texture, the satellite imagery, and then the objects will kind of stand out on their own, excuse me, and then we will move forward. Pretty sure they're going to be the FS-based scenery, so I'm probably going to look for hay or bale or farm. Why am I not finding anything? Let's look up all and then do hay. Haystack. Haystack from where? from a Sobo monolith vegetation. Okay, all right, so that's good enough for me. Let's go ahead and hit the one-click placing. Yep, this is what we were looking for before. And we have haystack rocks. That's a little weird. All right, so that's fine. I'm going to put a hay bale down, and then I'm probably going to put a whole bunch of them down in a row. So let's go ahead and stick this somewhere, probably in base objects. So let's put it in base objects. And I'm going to make a new group for this since there are going to be plenty of haystacks. And now inside of haystacks, we're going to have a whole bunch of them. Let's also tune in. Ooh, wow, my frame rate tanked. Good thing I'm not flying right now. All right. So, good stuff. I might scale this up 10 to 25%. Hey, welcome. Welcome back, Coffee Cup Arcade. Thanks for being here. I am doing a little bit of scenery dev this afternoon. I was doing a little bit of retro gaming last night on stream. I played around with some Atari 7800 titles and some Nintendo titles, one or two GBA titles, and I think that was it. I forgot if I played any of the systems. I guess I'd have to rewatch the video, but I am glad to have you aboard for a little bit of time this afternoon. I did have an okay Christmas. I am just mindful of a potential incoming call or just connection with a friend of mine. So I'm deving and I'm hanging out. There is a slight possibility that I might have to either dip temporarily or for the rest of the stream to make sure I am handling an issue with someone. But uh, if that happens, I'll let you know. Right now, I'm just taking care of business here. But all the same, happy to have you aboard, friend. And folks, if you do not know my friend Coffee Cup Arcade, a welcome friend of the community, a fellow streamer that does retro gaming and music from platforms like the Commodore 64, the Atari, and other systems, and plays games from and watches demos from other systems like the, ZX Spectrum and others. So feel free to take a look at Coffee Cup Arcade if you're into that kind of content. And let me go ahead and duplicate this because I'm going to make a whole bunch of y'all. And we're going to do our best to try to position them. This is the only problem that I have with the SDK right now. There is basically a bunch that it is not doing that it used to do in the, what am I trying to say, in the old SDK. So I'm probably going to scale these ZX. Perfect. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of figured as much, but yeah, wanted to put that one past you. We are adding some extra objects to the scenery at Higginsville Industrial Municipal Airport, and I am coming up with some stuff which I'm going to create a few basic groups of and then scale accordingly. So we're going to do 3, 7 here, and then we're going to duplicate this one and make it slightly smaller. And the point is, I'm basically creating some objects which I'm going to be able to, insert, duplicate, etc. at scale. So let's make this one significantly smaller because these things are not perfect, and offset it a little bit. And now we have 5, I want to say. Now we have 5. I'm going to make this one taller, and we'll do 1.4. And that's kind of sort of good. I'm not sure. Let me scale this one up a little bit more. Okay, great. Yeah, and the imperfections here are literal and deliberate. So I am going to make this a group, and I'm going to copy them just so it's easy to place these, because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time picking and moving entire groups of these when I can move them probably faster. But this is how the bread gets made, so to speak. This is the non-glamorous side of Flight Sim, putting scenery together so that people can enjoy it. And I'm going to duplicate that group as well. And I'm going to rotate it and put that elsewhere, like say here. And then what we're going to start doing is duplicating groups and making adjustments to those groups as we go, so that it's easy to see differences without going bananas. So for example, we're going to take this group. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Okay. I did what I didn't want to do, but that's okay. I'm going to take this group. I'm going to duplicate it. And now we can, oh, of course not. Silly. Okay, great. I did want to go through these individually. So we're either going to add or decrease the size of the scale for some of these hay bales significantly or not quite so much. And then we're going to move them. FS2020 had an easier time with this, and I'm not sure why it's so difficult with 2024. Oh wow, 15 years of photos? 700 hours of Cyberpunk. Wow. That's not a trifling amount of time. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know you've been part of the process in other diminutive ways or larger ways, but at the same time, yeah, detail is something that we both speak. All right, so let's keep this way, and I am going to duplicate this one now again. And I'm going to significantly change the scaling of some of these. Make that one really big. And scale this one up. Actually, down. I'm sorry. What just happened? Oh, 138. No, 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 no. we blotted out Higginsville with a huge hay bale. No, that's not good. But it is funny. Wow. That's a lot of demos. That's definitely a lot of demos, sir. That's neat. All right, I'll duplicate this one and just add one or two more out here. They're hand placed, so I don't necessarily care whether or not they're scaled the same. And now I can kind of do the same thing here. And do the same thing with this one. These are these are standard. So theoretically speaking, they should get flatter and or eventually disappear as you go away from them. I've got my eye on the screen. It doesn't look like they're doing much. Oh, wow. There seems to be an issue with the sim occasionally not moving as quickly as I'd like it to. I'm not sure if it has something to do with uh, with the frames. There's something going on. Skeletor. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. Going to Discord. I am going to Discord. Oh, wow. Wow. Yep, man. I vaguely remember watching He-Man growing up, but yeah, that's something else. Let's go ahead and move these. I think I'm going to work on this bank of hay bales and save the other one for another stream. But hopefully all these hay bales do not cause me trouble. Let's duplicate this group, move it over. And I'm going to fill in the gap here with some custom. It's beautiful. All right, so let's kind of like shoehorn that one in. Not really. So this isn't that bad. Actually, I'm kind of pleased. We've had a very Atari Christmas. Um, I do have to admit, playing some of the Atari games was fun. Qbert in particular was like nice and challenging. And I think I played a little bit of Xenophobe as well. Actually, I did. All right, let's duplicate this and move it over. Once I get this done, I might see whether or not there's any other textures I can clean up on the tarmac or add more depth. And then I'm probably going to step away for a moment just to reload into the next sim. And let me have a little bit of fun with some extra stuff. Wow, that's a very big haystack rock. Why is that so big? All right, hold on. I'm not sure what that, I'm not sure if I've seen haystack rocks like that before, but that's okay. Let's get another haystack at one scale. Actually, it doesn't matter. No. Let's get another haystack group ready. And let's start adding them in. Stand by, chat. Okay, I'm back. Let me finish the stack. I just copied this. Let's move this over. And that's not bad. At least I don't think it is. Hold on. All these hay bales should not significantly negatively impact frame rate, unless, of course, they're so detailed that they're going to. I don't think they are. I'm comfortable enough at this point just grabbing miscellaneous bales and sticking them in place. So I think we're good. And now that it's kind of open season on picking random hay bales to complete the set, I can kind of move faster. It was also kind of one of the reasons I slightly randomized the hay bale initial placements, because I wanted to make it easier to make them look different and better. So give me a moment. There we go. Is it the same? No, I already copied it. There we go. Moving them over is kind of tedious, but also kind of worth it at the same time. And I will duplicate this one and just shove this in. I don't even care if it touches one or both of them. And now it really does look like somebody manually put a whole bunch of hay bales in place. with a, not a harvester, like a front loader or something. Okay. Such is farm life. All right. So we've essentially got everything in place here. And that's like one group of hay bales. And I'm going to leave them alone, save the changes, and be good at this point. Only thing I don't like about this is that it's kind of, I don't know, like highly flat. I can probably change that up by creating polygons and adding some random rocks. So I'll go into polygons here. I'll create a semi-random kind of polygon outcropping. And we're going to label this like a random rock group. And we're going to say, wait, there we go, rocks. And you can set, really? I thought, wait, that's density, right? A little strange that it's not letting me get more than one rock out. Something about this does not seem right. All right, go back to properties. Fall off distance. Is it because this is not in a good spot for it? That could be why. Dude, are you serious right now? What's going on? Density is like all the way up. I'm not sure why it's not. Okay, I guess what I'm going to have to do is just expand this all the way out. There we go. Ah, okay. So it really was about polygon placement. That seems so weird. Uh, it's it's kind of an all or nothing right now. But so be it. So I'm going to get rid of some polygon points and see what I can do. I mean, I don't need like an incredible amount of polygon of rocks, especially right next to the tarmac, but it does liven up the place. it's interesting. It's almost like there's different rocks that are procedurally generated as you decide whether or not you're actually going to put them down a certain place. And now we can mess around with rock density. And at half density, it looks almost behaved enough to stand out on its own. I don't want to go bananas here. I just want there to be a, I don't know, impressive enough group of rocks here. It doesn't have to be bananas amazing. This is kind of fun. Yeah, that point's gonna have to go. There we go. Okay, that almost seems normal. Okay, so actually, I think I like this. I think I do. Yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can mess with this with the density a bit more. That seems about right. So now we don't have too many rocks, but we do have some rocks here. And now we have some hay bales. So with these hay bales here, for whatever reason, and with these rocks here, once I get those hay bales placed, it'll kind of make that part of the scenery pop off. All right. So that's good. All right. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and hit save and then hit build all. And that's it. That's my stuff done. And now that I'm actually okay, so it does despawn. They do despawn depending on how far away you are from them. And all I have to do now is just like add these and then I'm done. I don't necessarily have to add this section either. I could probably just patch it over with different ground texture. I don't want to do too much, but I might. I don't know. It depends. I definitely think based on the ground texture used, there may be some procedurally generated tufts of grass that sometimes show up. At least I think so. So that's good. And this is going to be updated and uploaded to probably flightsim.to in the near future. If you do not follow me on flightsim.to, I'm going to give you a link so that you can take a look at my profile. And I will probably be making an update to Higginsville in the not too distant future. Here is the link if you want to click on it. All right. So I think that's good. I think that's good. I might make this a little bit less intense. somewhere around 178 to 200 might actually work nicely. Also, okay, I already have some fall off. That's great. But the only problem with that is that it makes this a little bit grainier and harder to kind of pull off. But then again, gravel roadways are not perfect. At least not ones that have any amount of vehicle traffic that have traveled over them. So this is actually a teensy bit better. And if I do ground merging, it'll look even dirtier in spots. And I think that's what I was missing. I was missing some dimension to all that. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm overdoing it. That's okay. I'll go ahead and leave that go. And then I can focus on some other stuff. But insofar as Higginsville goes, that'll be all I do for this run. I hit build one more time. That should update it so I can update an updated package to flightsim.to. Although I might wait to upload until I have a few more things in place. Okay, folks, give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead, step away temporarily, and when I come back, I'll probably jump into FS2020 for a little bit and see what I can do at one or two airports that I have. Sit tight. BRB. All right, chat, I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. I spent the last hour roughly in Higginsville, Missouri. We are at KHIG, Kilo Hotel India Golf. This is Higginsville Industrial Municipal Airport, just outside the town of Higginsville in the state of Missouri. About 30, 35 miles due east of Kansas City. And we spent a little bit of time trying to figure out if I could fix a problem or two with the scenery. Unfortunately, I still haven't figured out the mystery of the disappearing taxiway signs. Um, Fortunately enough, there's really only one major taxiway into the scenery's airport. Basically, it's just this one, and there are a couple of looping taxiways to get you turned around on either runway end so that you can actually take off appropriately. So we just finished making some changes, and why didn't it actually save my changes when I actually just did the build? Oh, probably because I stepped away. This beacon will probably also wind up getting moved by the time I actually create a new, what am I trying to say, a better version of the scenery, a payware. But for now, default is fine. I'm going to go ahead and leave it go. And that's plenty good. So, yeah. I will say that the default satellite imagery for KHIG out here is better in 2024 than it is in 2020. I don't know what it was that they did to their Azure AI, but it does look like they have improved the extent to which the satellite imagery captures things like roads. I don't think they've done as much object removal from their satellite imagery, if they've done any, and that's okay. I mean, when I use the Google Map mod, it would show me cars on satellite images of roads, and I'm fine with that. I like that way more than having roads that were colored weirdly. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with regards to SatNav. So that's it. I'll hit the save button. I'll hit build one more time just to make sure all my changes are in, and then we're going to bow out of FS2024 and go back to 2020. And hopefully I will be able to actually get taxiways to show up in this, because I still don't know why they don't want to show up here at all. I'm still massively confused about that, but again, it's not something I want to worry about too much. Let me go ahead and close the project and close the editor window and go back to the main menu. And now I should be able to go into FS2020. We're going to check out one, maybe two airports in FS2020, and then we're going to probably call it. I am working on a project for airports in Central Florida. I have a client that's paying me to make some upgrades to some airports in the area, and also add some non-airport scenery as well. So I need to figure out what I need to do to make that happen. And if I take a moment to actually check prior messages, I can see what's up. All right, so I need to probably improve the taxiways at, well, the ground aprons at Fantasy of Flight, which I believe is Foxtrot Alpha 08, or I think it's called World's Greatest Aircraft or something like that. I have some built-in static aircraft from the sim on the ground. There's probably going to be better aircraft I can use, but I'm not going to be too over focused on making everything work. Oh, looks like we have an update to do. Not that much. We're in this kind of weird, kind of not weird place with FS2020 and FS2024, where we have both of them and both are receiving updates. I'm hoping that soon we're able to get the same kind of experience in 2024 that we got in 2020 in terms of being able to access things easily, load into scenery easily. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to, I guess, wait and see. Ooh, excuse me. I'm probably going to sweep through one or two airports, depending on everything else going on, and then I'll either add a few things on and maybe start laying down some fence, or I'll just be happy enough to review the general area I'm working on and then sign off for the weekend. This weekend, I am probably, if I'm gonna do any streaming, it's gonna be tomorrow. Although I don't think I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and relax and enjoy some family time. And I think going forward in the new year, I might start pulling back to, some weeknight streams and a Sunday stream, and then leaving Saturday for my Lord and Savior. Just a time to rest and detune and just make sure that I give God the glory and give God the time. It's taking a while to load in, but with an NVMe, it's still not that bad. A traditional SSD drive would take longer to load in, I think, so I am waiting a while, but it's not that long. So, where do I want to go? I could go there and see my own scenery, but at the same time, let me think. Where am I trying to go? Of course, I'm trying to go down to Fantasy of Flight. World's Greatest Aircraft Collection, which is where I've been doing my development lately. And let's go ahead and load it. Alright, so let me make sure the scenery is showing up, excuse me, the window's loading correctly. And don't mind me, I've been incredibly lazy and haven't updated my Rex AccuSeason stuff in a while. Also, not sure why all this isn't loading. Hello? Okay, this might be a problem. Stand by. Well, this could be problematic. Let's see, debug, console. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. A whole bunch of errors on load in. I'm not worried about that. That's typical behavior. What I'm concerned about is not actually being able to access the file or editors or dev mode menus. That's fine, I can access the scenery well enough, but why can't I access those menus anymore? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, alright. Stand by one, chat. I think I know what's going on. I'm hoping this isn't the case, but... Ugh. Let's see. Let me hide and show developer mode. Apply and save. Apply and save. That's weird. I can't even see I access the tools menu anymore. Okay, that's going to be a problem. All right, let me do this. Since updating to the latest version of the build tools did nothing, I'm going to go back to 1.0.1, which as far as I understand, should probably still be compatible with FS2020. Oh, okay, it doesn't want to. So I might have to do something. I I very much would like to avoid going and having to exit the sim and come back, since FS 2020 takes longer to load in than 2024. But be that as it may, I don't see how I'm going to be able to do this any other way right now. So yeah, not being able to load the scenery, not good. Let me also, while I'm taking advantage of the downtime, let me see if I can find the other files. Map enhancement. Standby. Nope. Dev. Okay, so a lot of these were from a while ago. So, okay, I think I'm going to have to exit the sim. I'm going to try this once, and then I'm going to potentially have to call a stream, or at least do something else if it doesn't work. So, standby, chat. I'm going to exit FS2020 because it's most likely that I'm going to have to actually uninstall it. Let me put you guys on a be right back screen and start looking through my files. I need to go to my drive where the MSFS SDK is installed, and tools version. So I don't care about that. That was updated, but the MSFS SDK is not showing up. So how do I do this? Do I just completely delete and destroy this? I don't think getting rid of the MS2024 SDK folder is going to do anything for me, but I'm going to temporarily remove the folder, and I'm going to try to install what I believe is the prior version. I'm going to give this a shot, and hopefully this works. I hope this works, because I don't want to have to say goodbye to doing development for FS 2020. Okay, so it says a newer version's already installed. I didn't permanently delete it, but where is the installer installed? Hold on. MSFS SDK? About SDK? core installer. Okay, let's get rid of the install of the software. Hopefully I'll be able to scale back down to the older version. I'm not in the sim, so getting rid of the file should not be a problem. And it's not asking me to restart my computer, although theoretically I probably should do that. Okay, at least I can go back to 1.0.1. So let's go. Let's agree to terms. Let's get everything installed. Come on. There we go. Come to think of it, it's a little concerning that the FS2024 SDK is kind of overriding my attempts to get this working. I'm not sure why I would do that. But let's go. Let's see if I can actually do this again. And hopefully going back to 1.0.1 gives me the ability to open airports in FS2020 again. Airport projects, I mean. Otherwise, I think what I might need to do is uninstall the FS2024 SDK whenever I'm doing FS2020 development, and then reinstall and get the SDK up and running when I'm working on FS2024, which will probably, in theory, be more as time progresses, unless there's a problem with FS2024, which I certainly don't want to happen. But we'll take our time. So welcome aboard, everybody. If you're new to the channel, I am DIGI Driver, a flight sim enthusiast, flight sim streamer, and content developer. I design airports for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and one day I'm going to get there for X-Plane as well. If you are interested in following my journey, I just recently started my own YouTube channel where I'm going to be focusing on putting things about scenery and long-form content, probably for scenery tutorials as well. And if you're interested in following and subscribing to my YouTube channel, there's a link if you'd like to check it out. I am reloading into FS2020 because I tried to open up a project just now and I couldn't, because I think the SDK is being overwritten by the FS2024 SDK that I have for development in that sim. And that also simultaneously makes me wonder if the problems that I'm having with the FS2024 SDK, specifically with regards to rendering taxiway signs, are due to a cross-contamination of both SDKs existing on my computer. To be quite honest, I'm a little bit brain fried thinking about whether or not the code is mingling. So, I mean, on the one hand, no, I'm not running both sims at the same time, so the code shouldn't be mingling, but at the same time, I'm not really sure what's going to come of all that. Okay, so we are back in the sim. Let's reload into Fantasy of Flight, excuse me. And there we go. That's much better. I mean, I'm not out of trouble yet. I just want to make sure that it actually allows me to reopen the project. So I can access all the menu windows. I don't care about SDK updates right now. I'm going to probably leave them alone for the foreseeable future, unless, of course, the game plan is to, again, do what I said, only install the 2024 SDK, what I'm working on at 2024 scenery. Apparently, it lets me reload 2020 projects as well. I'm happy. And let's load scenery if we can. Okay, so back in the sim, back on the ground, and just waiting for the buildings to re-render. Everything will load in, give it enough time. I have a theory, and I'm wondering if the scenery is loading in more slowly, specifically because I am using some static aircraft on the ground. I don't know, just a thought, but I'm also going to keep that in mind going forward. I was working on setting up parking spaces here for vehicles. I'm going to apply a general kind of like default asphalt layer to this parking garage. Not parking garage, parking lot for the museum. I kind of stopped here or stopped there last time I was getting started here. So let's go to apron and before I do that, I'm going to move all these into the vehicles default assets section. And now can go to aprons and start adding a custom apron here. Let me go ahead and transition to top-down camera and then go over to where the parking lot would be and start putting down some apron points. Okay. I'm probably going to work on this today and then most likely cut out for the evening. Future streams, I think I'm going to plan on doing flights where I also use Blender. I'm not going to be able to fly in either FS2020 or FS2024. God bless you. And also do, SDK scenery dev. It's going to be probably next to impossible, but at the same time, I'm going to be able to do flights in the sim and also most likely have Blender running as a way of basically just creating 3D objects for the airports. I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out, but to be honest, I'm just kind of like shooting the breeze here, and we're going to do our best to move forward. Oh, you know what? I think that's kind of like the curb. Probably one of the next things I'm going to do is figure out how to make realistic, sidewalks and whatnot. But I guess that's also something I might do over time. I certainly don't know how to do it really well, really quickly right now. So I'm going to do the best I can. I think I can probably make this apron go out to what appears to be a gate here, and then re-render. Is that an actual? No, that's just textures. The photogrammetry in here looks like it's been squished because I can distinctly see what would have been photogrammetry rendered for certain areas, which has now become this flattened polygon or projected mesh. And I'm not sure if this is going to be easy to work with or even easy to replace. So we'll see. I'm assuming the road is paved, but this could also be gravel. I think it's paved. It's just that the satellite imagery is grainy at this zoom level. And I guess that's to be expected. I'm just kind of having fun and experimenting with this. I'm not sure if it's going to be really beneficial for me to have this done. Do I care about dividing the concrete at this point? I'm going to go ahead and err on the side of caution and say something to the effect of yes. There's a reason why that's the way it is. And I might look into the satellite imagery some more if I have some time, either tonight or next week. Obviously, as I continue to work on this, I'll need to move faster because I'm going to be doing this over the next month and change. That's why my project needs to be done. And I'm going to, let's see. Most likely bring this out to here. And I'm going to add another layer on top of this to really drive home the dirt or the layers that are here. All right. All right, is what it is, chat. Even in top-down mode for some strange reason. Oh, really? Ooh. Hold on. Don't draw the surface yet. Oh, man. Well, fortunately, the surface wasn't fully drawn, but apparently I messed myself up by hitting a button of some kind before I finished. Like I said, fortunately there were not that many vertices left to render. It seems like it's hovering in midair somewhere. I'm not sure why. This is why I like using the the scenery dev mode in 2020 way more than in 2024, because it seems to be more forgiving. And I'm not sure what changed. I'm not talking about keybinds. I'm literally talking about the experience. Yeah, because something about this is off. Even here, though, I'm running into issues with the points kind of misbehaving a bit. Because I kind of wanted this to go up and the point rendered down, but that's fine. And I will probably continue looking into this over the weeks ahead. The project isn't due tomorrow, but it is due in time, so I don't want to be lax in my approach in terms of handling it. So let's go ahead and slap on a base texture for now, and we'll call this Museum Parking Lot and Access Road 1. And we're going to use a different thing, a Sobo Asphalt, and then we're going to pick probably Asphalt 5 Black, or excuse me, Generic 3. And then we're going to make a 0.2 fall off and make it slightly non-opaque, not by much, just enough to kind of see what we're doing here. And just doing that is enough to give it some depth. So that's not bad. Is it the right color? No, it can be a lot more, a lot less dark. So I want to say I feel like this is actually good enough for now. So that's fine. I'll leave that alone, and then I'll go back into developer camera and we will see what we see. So now we have this set here and it looks nice. There's still stuff I have to do. Maybe I'll make a walkway of some kind. Maybe I will avoid that. But I think the next thing I'm going to do is probably add some dirt to the other hangers here. So let's see. We have aprons. Let's go ahead and add one more apron. For the sake of simplicity, I can probably create a very simple layer and then add to it as we go. And this is going to be a higher priority. And let's go ahead and make some rough cuts. Doesn't have to go right up against the edge of the building. And then I can put that there, and then there. And now we have another layer. And what I'm going to do is look for concrete dirt. Let's see if we can find it. Before I do anything, let me go ahead and get rid of the one-click placing and call this more concrete dirt. And then we'll find concrete dirt layer and look up square dirt, which I think is over here. Okay, great. And I'm going to line it up with the tiles. And let's see, what's the difference? I see. All right. Rotation. That's actually pretty good. No ground merging. And this has coloration. Oh, wait, hold on. That's tile 6 dirt. And this is square dirt. Okay, so now we can make this really well noticed. Add some fall off. And there we go. This looks like a nice dirty patch of concrete. And that looks instantly better. Like, way better. Like it's been lived in better. So that's good. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think unfortunately I'm gonna be calling it for tonight. I just want to chill and probably grab something to eat. I might work on this more tonight. I'm probably not going to be doing any of this over the weekend, and I might get back to normal with regards to the stream schedule. Again, next week's going to be New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and I would say there's probably a good chance I'm going to stream on Monday night. It might be no audio. It might be just like way relaxed. I think if any additional streams are going to happen, they're probably going to be on Wednesday and or Thursday. I'm not planning on streaming on Tuesday night. That's family time. And I'm most likely not going to be planning on streaming on... I don't think I'm going to be streaming on next Saturday. That might change, but again, I don't think I'm going to start. I think I'm going to change gears and push weekend streaming straight to Sundays going forward, because I want to just detune a bit on Saturdays and give myself a chance to just enjoy the day with fam and with God. And then Sunday's a great way to kick off the week into weeknight streaming, and then Fridays, and then boom, the chill. But yeah, I think I'm going to probably get back to enjoying Saturday chill and not doing stuff to just rest and to connect with the Lord. But appreciate you guys stopping by today. Let me go ahead and hit save scenery and chill for the night. If you're not following me on Discord, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you're not following me on Discord, for some reason I can't get my invites to work. So I'm going to try to figure that out, or at least figure out some way to get folks into the Discord once I know that you guys are there. Once I know that you guys have a Discord account. Also, I'm going to go ahead and plug a few things one more time. I'm working on projects for Flight Simulator. If you are interested in supporting the project, by all means, feel free to stop by buymeacoffee.com/digi123 to consider becoming a member and supporting the channel that way. Also, I am on flightsim.to so that you can actually click on and see updates to my scenery there. But I think with Twitch these days, it shows you prior posts. So again, if you look at the post history for the stream, you should also be able to see the flightsim.to profile for myself. Have a great rest of your weekend, and hopefully a great way to close out 2024. I'm hoping you have a restful weekend and a chance to spend time with friends or family. And I hope you had a very nice Christmas season. So, like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus. Take care, friends. Have a great night, and we'll see ya.